No matter how many times life seems to knock you down, someone doesn't treat you right, things didn't go as expected or preferred, and you feel like you're doing your best, no matter what, the attitude to not give up on yourself and to still believe in yourself and in the life that you want to live and create, that attitude is the attitude of someone who isn't giving up, the attitude of someone who will become stronger every day after everything, whatever is happening. And, someone like myself who has been dealing with and behaving when I was a child, apparently unconsciously, in, victimization behaviors, thinking, acting, you know. It has been a lot to change and transform and go through, because when something doesn't go your way and you have been used to having that victim energy inside of you, then it is automatically what comes up first when something doesn't go your way. So that's where it's really important to be present with everything and have total acceptance with everything that comes up within you. Our past doesn't define who we are, but no matter how much or how little we have learned from the past, it is still wisdom gained, So let's say, as this example with the victim mentality or whatever, let's say it comes up, it doesn't have to, you don't have to act on it at all, even though it can feel like the most tempting thing, because it can feel so natural or easy to behave in ways that you've always done. And of course, if you're not aware of it, then you will act on it, and maybe perhaps afterwards you will be like, hey, I didn't have to act that way, I didn't have to react that way, So yeah, we are always present in the moment, but it can look like that we aren't, if we just follow whatever we are feeling or follow whatever we are hearing in the thoughts. Emotions can feel really strong and sometimes overwhelming, but with time we learn to be with it, no matter how intense, or even how subtle it can be. We can feel things that are like really subtle, that is like in behind of our minds, and we just go with it because we are used to it, So yeah, attitude to life, attitude to yourself, that it doesn't matter how many times we are knocked down, I will always get back up, And another thing is not to compare yourself with others. Like, maybe only in the good ways, like I would like to be that way, or I would like to live that way, my life that way, but not making it toxic and saying like I should live like that right now, or my life should look like that right now, if it doesn't, and that's okay. Creating a stability for the future is not just around money. It is about who you are, what you do, what you think, what you act on, what you don't act on, and from one perspective also how you see yourself and your life and where you want to go, So yeah, every successful person who has manifested what they want, who has become who they want to be, has always, not always perhaps, but has developed at least the attitude of, I'm not someone who gives up. I'm not someone who will be swayed off easily, no matter what. And yeah, we can all develop this skill, this attitude, and with time we will replace it with what already is or has been in our system from when we were small. You know, it makes sense. Like from one perspective, in a harsh world, in harsh conditions, that victimization, that it was a thing because you were a small child. You couldn't just go and do whatever you wanted, in a sense, you know. You didn't have control if you had to go to school or not, if you didn't want to go to school, you know. It's just an example. Not that you didn't want to learn. I'm sure you know, we all need to learn the basics, of course, at least, and whatever. I know I wasn't a fan of the school system. It was not my it was not an experience that I would had preferred, so to speak. But that doesn't mean I didn't want to learn. Yeah, whatever. Another topic. But yeah, you know, I had to go to school. I was forced to go to school, and if I had so much resistance within me that was like, no, I don't want to, well, that could create, you know, a victim mindset. I am forced to do this. I don't want to do this. Why do I always have to do something that I don't want to do, etc., etc., etc. But thankfully, times are changing. And no, just to put it into perspective, somebody doesn't have to develop a victim mindset because they have to go to school. It depends, you know, on how we were, whatever, so much. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Take care.